Good evening, friends. On behalf of automobile industry, I am thankful to India Smart Grid Forum for providing this opportunity for us to speak. I think most of the nuances of the natural gas expansions, challenges, opportunities are amply clearly shared by the presenters who have already been before me. I think what is interesting is, I think the nuance, what will coexist and in what percentage, in what category of vehicles, and what is lying before us, what is going to survive and what is not going to survive in terms of natural gas or LNG. So my take is that the number of vehicles we have seen since 1991. 1991, I was young engineer. I am very proud to say that the first cascade which moved from Uran to Chunabhatti Anik Depot in Mumbai, I was part of the team when Mr. Ashutosh Karnataka was a young manager in GAIL. And B.S. Negi was the DGM that time in GAIL. So since then, 28 years of my association with CNG, it's a very roller coaster ride. In between, CNG vanished, again it made appearance. And today when we are sitting in a cusp of a time when India is migrating to leapfrogging to BS6, it's very clear that retrofitment of CNG for BS6 will very unlikely to happen. It will not happen. Even the regulatory provisions creation, we are struggling right now. So that is one part. But that is not diminishing our spirit. Because the CNG is such a fantastic single carbon fuel that most of the OEM will pick this up. And the kind of complexities we have because of the diesel, SCR technology, LNT technology, diesel particulate filters, cost of it, I think CNG will stand prominently ahead of all other fuel. So therefore, the moment this 10,000 stations roll out in 8 years happens with promises in major cities, and the long queue of the gas is somehow managed well, either by staggering of prices or giving some kind of incentives at a different point in time when you go for filling the gas, or a situation where on your mobile app you call the gas cascade at your home and he fills it in. I think CNG is going to have a phenomenal expansion, as Mr. Amitabh also indicated. It's a word revolutionization will happen. So therefore, if we look at the category in which it will promote CNG, obviously you know three-wheeler is the immediate candidate. Buses, even though there is a lot of focus on electrification of buses, but sheer the cost benefit analysis, I think it will tilt towards the CNG, because ultimately in cities, the particulate matter is a concern, dhua. NOx is, hydrocarbon is lesser of a concern. So therefore, that CNG will immediately offer with the least of the price. So CNG is a big candidate for expansion in buses. As far as the taxis goes, in taxis also, because you know why the taxis were diesel, because the advantage was running cost, etc., because it's run more, so against the gasoline. But now if the diesel is being discouraged because of the particulate matter, then automatically the candidate for taxis are CNG. So the moment these million plus cities reach out with the CNG stations, you will have a complete growth scenario. Now advantage of LNG, CNG, everybody has spoken, so I am not spending my time. My time is only on these three. The energy security, lower cost CO2, reduction in the local pollution. Whatever angle you see, whatever point assignment you do to each fuel, CNG stands clear winner. So therefore, I think all those who are associated with CNG, this is the best time one can imagine for CNG. But we have to be very clear. India is often, get completely, entangled in the push and pulls of different vectors in different directions. At least good that day before yesterday we had a meeting with Mr. Pradhan, so with all the oil marketing company chairman were there. We requested some kind of, clear direction on the integrated policy fuel map so that everybody coexist. Nobody should worry that diesel will vanish or petrol will vanish or what will happen to ethanol or what will happen to CNG. Everybody will have a share. It's all up to us that how we play our game and how we ensure that from these three, you know, point, what India needs in 2030. I think it's absurd to claim that India should ban IC engine by so and so time. You are not realizing that what kind of IC engine economy India is standing on. 80% of our ACMA is actually powertrain component exporters. They are having employment so large, huge. So therefore, our submissions, our proposal, our policy prescription should be in the interest of nation, in interest of environment, in the interest of energy security, in the interest of local pollution mitigation. And there, if you see all these fuels, vehicle compatibility, transportation and storage point of view, CNG is a clear preferred fuel for us. And that's what is the auto industry position is. Now you map this. How does it, fare in its national objective? You will find that CNG and LPG are standing a good chance, both in terms of reduction of CO2, well-to-wheel situation, local sourcing possibilities, distribution possibilities, replacement and reuse possibilities. But most important is which vehicle we should focus. So this is our white paper on alternate fuel study outcome, that two-wheelers, I think we should not worry. We should focus more on three-wheeler, trucks, buses, and if you are able to have this 10,000, gas station realization with the proper golden quadrilateral triangle LNG stations deployment, then this scenario will even become rosier. This is a kind of very realistic scenario we have put forth before you, but this would be rosier and more favorable to CNG. And this is where each category wise we would like to push for CNG. Now obviously we are having a corporate average fuel efficiency norms, and there also CNG would be helping us because of its inherent advantage. As I mentioned that BS6, you have a huge commitment of durability, compliance, in-service requirement, real drive emissions. So CNG game for BS6 will be with OEMs, not with the retrofitters. But retrofitters have so much work to do in the domain of other than BS6 vehicle conversions. I think that scope is too huge and interesting before us. So this is the kind of roadmap, but obviously 10,000 is going to be a reality. And vision for automobile industry is in this manner, whereas we see that CNG will increase, and even CNG with hybridization or CNG even in the time of fuel cell vehicles, that CNG will remain relevant time to come. So no worries for people, those who are involved in CNG as far as its existence is concerned. But of course, we have a number of challenges, and everybody has articulated that challenge. So we should have a very clear strategy on one nation, one fuel kind of concepts, where we should not have a situation that Gurgaon has a price, Delhi has another price, Noida has another price. The customer is completely confused what he needs to do. So day before yesterday, we requested Mr. Pradhan that have a kind of pan-state stability of pricing so that everybody is clear what they are doing. Second, also bringing it under GST realm or whatever way, the commensurate price increase vis-a-vis other fuel, it should have a parity. Similarly, the single agency point was highlighted by our Niti Aayog expert. So this is the one we would look, so many, Dr. Sharma also mentioned, I think 57 regulators are there, so that has to be somehow simplified. and then maximum, governance and minimum government concept will help. Lower taxation and government to provide enabling policies, regulatory and incentivization regime. You are talking about incentivizing electric in all way, but we have requested Mr. Pradhan that if you can, give some kind of consideration for CNG vehicles in terms of reduced GST reduction, road tax or green tax or whatever way you are promoting so much electric, at least you can promote CNG also. So this is what is the submission we have, and we are very clear that CNG by far is the best fuel available in our hand to mitigate all our energy security, carbon GHG reduction targets, and also the targets of lower, mitigation of the local pollutions, and a clear roadmap, which is more or less now getting emerged, is known to us, and we hope and wish that the CNG in which I started my career 28 years back, I would see it grow as much as possible and become a reality. So this is what is we believe as the auto industry, and we are looking forward to move together, moving ahead. Thank you.